And no number one missing deficit target, because you know why you are borrowing, you are spending more, you are generating less revenue, and so the difference between your expenditure and the revenue you make, you must finance it. And the only way benzo bakwa bobusia. Simply put, say wakatu, I even say 10,000 a month. Be month in bedroom what to tonyema, e buy no, 12,000. Yeah. 2,000 says utia. So you go to the bank and borrow.
Ekosiisen on.
And now you can say, your debt to GDP is almost 80%. Almost 80%.
76 thereabout.
May say almost 80%. Do you know why? Go and check your AUNB. One, your Kobo Bosian with Get Fund.
Yeah, 1.5.
When you say and debt no. Do you know that?
No contingent liability.
But sika ye no, and be near the You get my point.
I get you.
Esla levies. Ya Bobosian bear 7 billion. You see a national debt. Esla revenues are accounted here. And no be any edicotria. So why you say here? You don't capture all those debt sources as your debt. But una utia. So it's putting a strain on our expenditure line. Inti nyomo ye nyina is just one thing. Economy no.
Abai here ska.
Atitia pansam. Ejija. Omo yo mo hwia enye yie. Inti no momo echina wonya 200 Ghana. Na sa mesania ma me nana. Watermelon. Abansi wo jimu 1.7%. John Kumasi o obefaka edi akotamale. Edi skana koma omo. Umfanko nti yeje tax. What kind of analogy is that? No, why from that analogy? Secondly,
I think what he said, it is a space a bank would have to take in.
Let me finish that. Let me get there. Any e-transaction I have made, whether on Jumia or whatever, I pay VAT. And I can show you.
On Jumia.
Utwa, they charge you. Ube drew hampona oko year.
But how about individuals, creative companies, or more advertising on Instagram?
They are supposed to, so enforce it.
But they are not doing
because GRA can move in today and say tax. Do you know that? So this is a separate tax. This tax does not replace VAT. Me boy can tell me the VAT law no ye clear. So uto bibia, whether you pay by check, by electronic transfer, by cash transfer, you are supposed to pay that VAT. Me boy only one can tell me.
That's true.
This doesn't replace VAT. Doesn't replace VAT.
It doesn't.
Or then come to Parliament and say, yes, scrappy VAT on all electronic payments and replacing it with 1.7. This makes sense. Don't come and tell us, say photo electronica. What do we buy? It's not a replacement.
But John, again, in the informal sector, in
okay, so say momo, me memo, me 1.7, me this kind of money. Can you imagine? Wow. No, can you imagine?
John, the question I'm raising is fiscal deficit now. In the COVID year 2020, around
15.7.
Good. Yes. Now, Osha this year, they what I say, around 12 point something percent, including all the below the line items,
yes.
And in 2022, the target is to bring it down to 7.4%. Don't you think, sir?
So look at the 2020. What you do is that you compare yourself to your peers.
In 2020?
Yes. And then 2021, who are peers? Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Senegal, Zambia. They are our peers. Yeah. We are not an island. It is a case of COVID-19. Say COVID Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Anchi Tanzania, Anchi Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire's deficit was 6%. Tanzania's deficit was 5.7%.
Okay.
Ethiopia was 6%. Ghana, and your deficit equal 15.7%. When we make this analysis, what's your abro omuso? Minya, you know, no, just winding up. You know why we have this debt? That you build your debt accumulation because of your deficits. That's how you build, principally, because at the end of the year, you spend more than you earn. Until it shoots your debt up. And I'm saying, say, taxes here, you're there by already. You're the COVID levy aba, any sector recovery levy aba. You're to NHIL mu. You're the financial levy aba. You're the pollution levy aba. You're to diesel levy mu. Aba we you. I feel way just this year na make and yet 2021. Lead to an increment of 13% of petroleum products. Tell me one single country in this world, just one, how am I introducing this plethora of taxes? You tell me, just one country, one.
Okay.
And yet you have the audacity to even come and sit here and...
Okay.
I mean, what is this?
John, Intiafe responded to issues now.
We'll call Europe their average regional tax to revenue. 40%. Oba even Africa, Yembra House, so I'm saying back. Ekrono Bubodina, Cote d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Senegal. The average tax to revenue components are over 20 to 25%. Ghana, we are 13%. 13.
Tax to revenue.
Yes, to revenue. 13%. And the onwa oka say ya tutu niememu na ya ye say na oka 13% ni no. Other places no bubodin, they go as high as 40%, 25%. And the onion comparison here. Ghana, and I think you called an expert to be earlier, Dr. Tuahine. And one of his concerns was government taxation and as a tax component to our revenue. It was too low. Yeah. He kept telling you, this is too low, this is too low. And it is true. A fact to say, the taxes we are paying in Ghana as a percentage of our revenue mobilization is very low. And something has to be done about it. In fact, we're at 2022, with this new measure, now you're targeting about 17%. That is even still below the regional ECOWAS average of 20-25%. So what I say, and Ghana is one of the places we should understand, say, but what you're being lenient. Even though you are huchrim.
But I think the concern has been said the intention to raise revenue locally is clear.
And yet as base ya near brody with ye comments ye tax ya no asati ha ekikam enane nana e we krase e be affecting ye ti ha no mo brody tax base say informal sector ukota de ho a VAT omutimi evedi enti sade a yenye no such that say enyafa momo payment nko anaso o ye transaction na Gabai bit magic kakra at the abeboa aban sheshe. No one at here the same person.
But I think the concern has been said. Yes, in as much as we want to raise government revenues,
yes,
post-COVID.
Yes.
In that same spirit of post-COVID,
yes,
do you impose all these taxes at a go? In your 2021 mid-year budget, any new taxes are being introduced?
You can't 2022. Yeah, yes, our discussions never. And Ghana phone him say. Me no ka say etuwe mako enum medical church ye ye free omoso ene ye de baako pe ekomeo baako pe ene ye de aba and obi se wo hwe yen din komomfa omo a omo so follow the fiscal position of government in this budget because Professor Anwoko no the friend earlier the concern is what is government's program in containing the debt situation. So what I say, let's address those people too. Share budget we and I'm happy you refer to fiscal deficit now. You free 12.1% if you report above the line because this is what we did this year. Yeah, the above the line in 2022 we are targeting 7.4% of deficit.
Fiscal. Or the below the line
yeah, the below the line. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the below the obi. They say the watiasio. They say the below and the above no watiasienti. What would do then now? What here go to 9 point something? Me channel say what the watiasienti or no the okay, we are reporting about the line.
Yes.
Even in 2022, no, you are getting 7.4. This is one of the boldest financial management you can have.
But it's a target.
No, but that target will be met. That target will say a certain keke. Because before you said this target is based on your revenues and your expenditures and everything. What I say. And for government to do this, and it's a clear signal to the investment community, and say Ghana is committed to meeting the fiscal responsibility threshold of 5%. Obi, Ghana, Yewomra, even though it's suspended now because of COVID, the Fiscal Responsibility Act and it say every year biano abambe disika ma onimro 5% of the GDP.
Yeah.
But are suspended because of COVID. Now we need to quickly get back to that. And every year we must post primary balance, positive primary balance. Obi, what has happened in this 2022 budget now? Not only are we targeting 7.4%, we are posting a positive primary balance of 0.1%. Obi, positive primary balance in the Ejina Homani say, a car would know, wo teso. Every time you post negative primary balance, it just say, wo kano, wo debt na, your debt na do 77.5% of our GDP no. You perceive the buffer. Until from next year, no, we will start seeing decline and say, the targets we are setting, we'll be bringing down the debt to sustainable levels. This is what this budget signifies. I think so, yes, I targeted GDP growth of 5.6% and a non-oil GDP growth of 5.9%. Obi, your gross international reserves and so are increasing.
4 months of import.
4 months. In fact, they are over 4 months of import. So what I say, because they say in a year we're almost about $11 billion in our reserve as a country, which all indicates are buying or you're committed to ensuring we achieve fiscal consolidation and debt sustainability. Very, very crucial and important. And until Ubetia John Janaponum, oh, I said Ghana call IMF. You are to force in the Ghana call IMF. You will budget you on someone can answer Nibio. And or in the press conference, he never went to fiscal consolidation. The professor and business said, no, crowd pay. They know that government has responded positively, especially to the investment community out there. Say government is disciplined and determined to ensure say it also be one important thing in this budget. Obi, I have been in the entrepreneurship space. I can tell you, say, in my life, budget is this budget. This budget deliberately address the perennial unemployment problem in our country. Targeting mabunu to resource them and mobilize them with money, finances, and structures to ensure say we are babunu now pese we wa wadwuma. Aban si bejisika, aban be ebe boaw with entity any sika to make sure say you are able to create your own business called You Start. I'm talking about the You Start. Yeah. That is one announcement that brings me so much joy because Obi, I have seen it live in this country, and thanks to President Akufo-Addo, the first Roddy Mami in the first government as CEO of NEIP. I have seen talents in Ghana. Look, made the Mabunu call Bahrain on entrepreneurship competition. Baku places second globally. The third place was Spain and France was fourth. Baye Baba Kasma me catch us last in say 10 years time if we are to return to Bahrain. Na yesi yenhwe startups competition ya nyina di second year. Saying Obia Diakodru, even though I'm your CEO, I'm not happy because I know said there are no structures in our country to scale you up. Obi, gradually government is listening to this problem and solving it. With this announcement of 1 billion cedis every year and a target of 5 billion cedis from even the banks to increase their SME allocation in next year. So the startups ni SMEs bet me access to patient capital. Sika honjo with terms and conditions ko collateral ne kofa webra. Na magana for mebu no mo wani swade hunu ni talent o bet me bi o adwuma no o mo so anya access to financing. Sane man is addressed in this budget. In the next 3 years, government wants to create 1 million jobs in the private sector. Not just by math. Say, as part of You Start policy, no, even the university campuses, be create endowment funds. Ama you was school, 3rd year, 2nd year, na so to me create BB, and so in a wetmi aye, and now liquid soap no wetmi aye. You can go through a process on your campus, source some of this financing, and even take 1 year sabbatical leave to go and do your business. No, but back 1 year later to graduate. This is what is done elsewhere. And certificate but your focus should be on who you school. How can you create jobs? One of presidential pitches when I was CEO, one young man from KNUST, 3rd year, participated with Pizza Man, Chicken Man. Owie University, me kotek se me koye program. ne said me call lunch. Me wura ho no ma see you gyina manim. Oda ma sinam sinam minim wo. O say hey, me ba presidential pitch ni bi. This is the business because from there another angel investor, Quick Angels, I'm introduce no man. I invest on the business in him. Today he has 33 workers. He has 20 bike riders on year delivery. He has 5 branches today as we speak. Ain't it, a number of these young people have ideas. Where are they getting financing? That problem is being addressed in this budget, 2022 budget.
But John, in as much as the intention behind this is beautiful.
Yes.
If I am somebody who took interest in last year's budget, I heard of Obatampa Cares. Obatampa Cares had components and not able to deal with youth entrepreneurship. And if I'm to believe the youth starter, I should be hearing what Obatampa Cares achieved for the youth. So I can believe
out
in
of
this.
Obatampa Cares and yet you start. It's just a subset. I'm happy you've put it right. Obatampa Cares is raising 100 billion to address these problems. And the youth
10 billion.
100 billion. 30,
it's 100 billion.
100
Okay.
billion. And out of it, and no more targeted some of these financing arrangement into the U Start program. What I say, ain't say about packers you are not able to have a U Start program. What I say, it's just the bigger. And I can say U Start is a subset of the bigger Obatan Packers program. And we have not deviated. It's the same thing, but because we want to focus on youth job creation, which is just one branch of the numeral, because agricultural mechanization, one district trade and industry, tourism, all these are under the Obatan Packers.
It is
But the
1 billion a year.
Yes.
For you start, no?
will be part of the Obatan Packers.
Where is it going to come from? Maybe free here now. The 1 billion a year.
1 billion a year and is part of government. 1 billion has been allocated
biennial
a biennial commitment, and beyond that, the finance ministry and as a government has engaged banks, commercial banks in Ghana, to make available 5 billion cedis allocation for SMEs under special arrangements. Okay.
And the commercial banks are aligned.
Yeah, we are going to sign compact with them, and you're interested, I don't come. But once you sign, you must have a DEX, okay, for implementation of the U Start program. What the bebwa after say NEIP and GE have trained these businesses with, of course, in partnership with these banks.
Yes.
When we recommend them to access funding that you have agreed to be part, because government is going to place these monies with the banks. And this are buying Edinisika 200 million and 100 million brewo as a bank to manage under the program. We expect you to also put in maybe 50 million or 100 million as counterpart funding under different arrangement, including government also giving guarantees for first loss or second loss. Those terms now banks need use to guarantee the risk involved and make sure say government is prepared to encourage young people in this country to have access to patient capital to do business. And for me, that is a very positive good news for our country. So going forward, yenya mabuna omawie school say ye pedwuma ye nko a then mum ye benya mabunu so a omo wani so ade hunu se omo pese omo bi omo adwuma na aban etimama possible for them to get those finances.
And the hope ne say 1 year with an investment of 1 billion.
Yes.
It will create 1 million jobs.
1 million jobs.
That's the expectation.
In fact, the target of 1 million is for 3 years period.
Okay.
In the private sector.
Okay.
What I say.
Okay.
But I even believe, say, see it me in year because it's not just startups. You share existing business, so we can scale up. What I say, business be or no with me to one machine can have 5 extra workers. All those businesses will qualify. Until we existing business, now you can show capacity. Says I was in a studio with one of the young guys, Lord. What me I developed by lab equipment. Now he's using NAPCO staff. He wanted a certain arrangement with governments. A government intervening, man, that a year he can take on maybe extra 20 workers. So those things we want to engage young people and SMEs and see what can government do for you to scale up your business. What can government do so that you can add on 2 or 3 other workers for young people to have jobs in this country. And for me, said that consciousness of the country, said now we are moving from this socialist welfare mentality state, say to a more entrepreneurial Ghana. Says me school I mean I may be create Juma. Elon Musk had nothing. He started with just ideas. Today he's the richest man on earth. it is projected say he will be the first trillionaire on earth. What I say, but he was born in South Africa. Just with ideas, he created it, was able to sell, and this is the ideas we also want to see in Ghana. And we have several Elon Musk with ideas in our country. The only problem, like I've told you, I've gone for global competition with Ghanaians. I have seen ideas, startups in Ghana. If we have a budget that is giving this hope to the youth of our country and challenging them to pick their destiny into their hands and begin to believe, say, now they have a partner in government. We are changing our country and building enterprises and building entrepreneurs and giving them assurances, say, if they start, they will succeed.
Okay. John Kuma, John Kuma, Deputy Finance Minister of the Republic, MP for the Ejiso constituency. Sanso and John Jenapo, a member of Parliament, Ekosiisen, or a ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee and a member of the Finance Committee in Ghana's Parliament. Lot and lot of your messages. In Pennyform, anyone aiding Como, our first post-budget discussion here on Ekosiisen Ewa Sempa FM. My messages will be bringing up. I'll read a few of them. We'll come back and then I'll pick JJ's reaction. Now, after I share other areas in the 2022 budget statement. We say, please tell John that this. Okay, no, sorry, John Kuma. Also tell John Kuma. Tell John Kuma that this Adanko Dada style of toll abolishment and introduction of road toll in license renewal, insurance, petroleum levies is something we know about already. Road toll abolished. What would he say about the unemployment of workers? I think Anthony Nupe so who workers are a what toll booths. Minister can say reassignment.
They are all maintained by the Ghana Roads Authority. In fact, it is part of the
Ghana
policy,
Highway
Authority and the Road Fund.
Okay.
In fact, what is happening is annually we get 70 million cedis from the Road Fund. And from the year levy, every year Road Fund is still going to receive their 70 million.
Okay.
And we are asking them to reassign every worker. Nobody is going home.
In the toll booths.
They have several ways to do, yes.
Okay. Let me continue with the messages now. Obi, please ask JJ what different thing would they have done if they were in charge. I want to hear the alternatives to the budget, not the rhetoric and shouting. We need practical solutions. Kwame Ewo Kojo Krom in Sekendi Takrade and on the way Abba. Let me see. Fred Agbenyon says, Obi, ask John Kuma, what happened to the 1 million per constituency money promise? How can we believe this government can contribute 1 billion every year to the development bank? Okay, Minister Reka said start up near 1 billion for the development bank. Okay. Okay.
We already have
$800 million
of that.
Ready. Okay.
And we have the license.
Okay. In the Fred Agbenyon, will go on and on the way.
Fred Agbenyon. I hope he's the Fred Agbenyon I know.
Yeah, Fred Agbenyon.
Yes, I'm a Chiano, my brother.
Yeah. We say the World Bank's most recent tax revenue to GDP is 12% in 2019. Where did John Kuma get his 20% from? He should tell us his
20% is the regional
average.
The regional average, but Ghana is like he quoted 12 to 13%.
12 to 13.
Which is far below the regional average. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Onassis Kobe, I believe your question is answered.
But 2022, we are targeting 17%.
17%, yes. Very well. We say, Obi, tax to revenue does not necessarily have to do with the introduction of new taxes. A country can have a higher percentage of tax to revenue because of how broad their tax bracket or tax net is. Lawyer Sami Jemfi.
Yo, Mr. Sami Jemfi. Sami had to say, Mumusi and Brodo, yeah, Brodo, so I'm okay. Come to say, okay.
Mama, way, Emra, Jemma, just some few minutes. Meanwhile, way, Emra, me ba, John Jenapo, John